How do I get all three scores to report same score? It never will. I won't say never, but it's rare for all three of your scores to be the same because not all your accounts report to all three bureaus. They got different statement dates, so your scores continuously fluctuating. Each month, your card gets like 1 month of age too. Like there's a whole bunch of factors that go into it. So you don't need them to all report the same. You just need your credit profile to look good, and then all your scores will reflect that. It's true to only use 30%. You can use whatever you want, right? But by that statement date, you want to stay, you know what I'm saying, in single digits. You want to get it down. So let's do an example. Let's do a quick example. Boom, I got a brand new Citibank for 1,000. It's got the card. My statement date is on the 20th, right? But my payment date is on the 10th. Okay. So when you first get your card, you need to know those two dates: your payment date or your due date, and your statement date or your closing date. Okay. Your payment date or your due date, your statement date or your closing date, right? They both, closing date and statement date, they switch those up sometimes, and payment date and due date, they switch those up sometimes. All right. But they kind of mean the same thing. All right. So if my payment date's on the 10th, okay, I'm gonna have to pay that balance down before the 10th because that's where all the interest and stuff comes from. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want a large ass balance. I don't want to just pay the minimum, right? So got to pay it before the payment date. And then we got to pay it again before the statement date because we don't want a large balance reporting to the credit reporting agencies. All right. So after you learn those two dates, after you've been through a couple payments, right? Then I would suggest, all right, I wish I would have did this years ago. I did do it years ago, but I wish I would have did it when I was 18, 19. You can call your credit card company, all right, and say, hey, I want to change my payment date. They're going to say, change your payment date. You sure? Yes, change my payment date. They're going to say, all right, what day you want to change it to? You want to change your payment date, okay, to 3 days before your statement date. All right, remember I was talking about the statement date and closing date a few minutes ago? Change your payment date to 3 days before your statement date. All right. So if you're in this example, our statement date was the 20th, right? So we're changing our payment date to the 17th. All right.